The death of Madeline Ross, the sister of one of the biggest streamers on the planet, has the internet asking one question: how are the rappers in Adin Ross's circle responding? For now, Ross has not publicly addressed Madeline's passing. Social media users are out in full force, offering their condolences to the Ross family. But the rappers who built relationships with Adin, the ones who sat in his room on stream, who called him on FaceTime in front of hundreds of thousands of viewers, who gambled with him, who gave him exclusive album previews, what do those people do right now? That is what we are going to look at today. We are going through every rapper connected to Adin Ross and the bond they share with him, because Madeline's death is the kind of moment that tests those relationships. Let's start with the rapper who is arguably the closest to Adin Ross right now. If you had to name one rapper who has the closest personal connection to Adin Ross, in 2025 and 2026, it would be Drake. In addition to presidential candidates, Ross also is one of the streamers that gets early access to preview tracks from rappers. Because of this, he's been able to develop some close relationships. If you have been paying attention to Adin Ross, you may know that he loves Drake. Their bond is not just professional. Drake and Adin Ross's bond is very strong, and the timeline of their connection tells you everything you need to know about why Drake is the first person on this list who fans are looking at in the wake of Madeline's death. Throughout the highly publicized beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, the content creator was always backing the boy. Furthermore, they have been seen calling each other on multiple occasions on his streams. Adin was not a neutral observer during that situation. He went public with his stance. He stood by Drake when a lot of people did not. That kind of loyalty creates a bond, and it went beyond FaceTime calls on stream. A video emerged from a Toronto club showing Drizzy and Adin together. Drake and Adin Ross have been supporting each other for quite some time, and they met in person in Drizzy's hometown. That is not a streamer meeting a celebrity. That is two people who have an actual friendship. Then came the Drizmas giveaway livestream in December 2024. Drake's Drizmas event delivered plenty of moments. Adin Ross, a popular streamer and Drizzy's co-host, announced his return to Kick coming soon, and arranged the comeback with a sleepover event at the Six Gods Embassy. A sleepover at Drake's mansion, the Embassy. Adin literally asked Drake on stream if they could do it, and Drake said yes. Adin said to Drizzy, "I was thinking in the bathroom about my comeback for stream. Me, you, and Ben do a sleepover of this whole crib?" The Six God replied with, "Sure, what they gonna pay?" Then in August 2025, Drake went live on Kick with Adin Ross, XQC, and Party Next Door. The rapper went live on Kick on Saturday for a stream, joined by Adin Ross, XQC, and Party Next Door. During the stream, he briefly discussed the recording process for his 9th studio album, Iceman. That is not an interview format. That is hanging out, and the level of comfort between them was on full display. When Ross asked where Drake was at, and Drake had a surprising answer, "I'm outside, daddy." The whole chat lost it, Adin lost it, but it showed how relaxed they are with each other. And then there was the Steak vs. Drake and Adin stream in April 2025, Drake and Adin Ross reuniting once more for a huge Kick live stream called Steak vs. Drake and Adin, with 1 million on the line. Drake wagered money that Adin Ross would fail to match the strength of a professional bodybuilding champion. The challenge was meant to entertain. Several intense gambling sequences kept the energy high throughout the stream. Drake and Adin placed enormous wagers across various games during their streaming sessions. Each second during the gambling activities brought intense suspense. This is a genuine friendship. Adin watched Drake perform live. Streamer Adin Ross watched Drake perform during Day 2 of Wireless Festival 2025 at Finsbury Park on July 12, 2025 in London, England. He flew to London for that. So when Madeline's death was reported by TMZ, Drake is the name everyone looked at first. Given how strong their bond is, Drake might have already reached out privately to Adin. We know Adin has been off social media. We know he has not spoken publicly. But given the fact that these two communicate regularly through calls on and off stream, it is hard to imagine Drake has not sent some form of message or support to Adin and his family during this time. This is the same person who co-hosted holiday events with Adin, who stayed up recording music while streaming with him, who invited him to his mansion. When something like this happens, you call, and Drake has Adin's number on speed dial. The second rapper people are watching is 21 Savage. 21 Savage and Adin Ross have one of the more entertaining relationships in the streaming world. Many popular rappers were guests on Adin Ross's channels in the past. The American streamer has hosted numerous broadcasts with Blueface, 21 Savage, Lil Tecca, and other star musicians. But 21 Savage stands out because of the nature of their interactions. Two of his most notable guests on Kick have been Sexy Red and 21 Savage. The latter artist faced the wrath of Ross's supporters when he appeared on the live stream. 21 Savage was playing a high-stakes card game with Ross on live and the Slaughter Gang leader was accused of cheating the streamer out of $250,000 due to loaded cards. This was never confirmed, though the fans reached their own conclusions at the time. Now, most people would cut ties after something like that, but Adin and 21 did not. Although Ross was upset about the situation, the two seemed to be on good terms. And that tells you something about the relationship. It is not fragile. It can survive controversy. It can survive a card game gone sideways. And that means it can also show up in moments of grief. After the Playboi Carti stream situation, 21 Savage was the one who called Adin on stream to talk about it. 21. Savage confronted Adin Ross after the streamer apparently paid Playboi Carti $2 million for making a cameo appearance on one of his live streams. Carti appeared on Ross's Kick stream following the 2024 Grammy Awards. $2 million for 6 minutes, bro, 21 said, and then added that he wanted to have a talk when he saw Adin in person. That is not a distant associate. That is someone who picks up the phone. 21 Savage is a person who has experienced loss himself. He has spoken publicly about the death of his brother, Terquavian, who was fatally stabbed in 2020 in London. He has rapped about loss. He has lived through it. He understands what it means to lose a sibling. That personal experience could be something that makes his support for Adin feel different from others on this list. He has been in that darkness. He knows what the first few weeks feel like. He knows what the silence sounds like. With Madeline's death now public, and with the kind of direct communication 21 Savage and Adin Ross have shown on stream, it would not be a surprise if 21 has already picked up the phone. That is what he does. He calls, he shows up. He might not post it on Instagram. He might not tweet about it. But the phone works, and 21 has used it before. Lil Uzi Vert and Adin Ross have a friendship that goes back to some of the most memorable moments in Adin's streaming career. Lil Uzi Vert and popular Twitch streamer Adin Ross finally linked up for a long-awaited collab, breaking the internet with a highly entertaining 2-hour-long stream, featuring hilarious back and forth between Adin and Uzi, off-the-cuff freestyles, DIY hair dye, and even a few punches thrown. That stream became the stuff of internet legend. What made the Adin and Uzi dynamic stand out is how genuine it felt. By being so unfiltered and unafraid to be the butt of the joke, Adin creates a safe space where some of the biggest artists in the world feel comfortable to come and let loose. Uzi did not just show up for 6 minutes and leave. He stayed for 2 hours. He dyed Adin's hair. He freestyled a song that became viral. Ballin' that ended up on YouTube and SoundCloud with millions of plays. Adin's stream with Lil Uzi Vert was easily one of his best. There were a few wholesome moments through the stream, including the time when Uzi went and dyed Adin's hair. There was also the moment in which Uzi smacks Adin for only doing things that his viewers told him to do. Uzi dropped gems saying that Ross should live life for himself and not for others. A solid piece of advice given the fact that Ross is still young. Think about that for a second. Uzi was not there just for content. He was giving Adin life advice on stream in front of hundreds of thousands of people. That is not something you do for someone you see as just a business opportunity. That is something you do for a friend. He's known to pop up on Adin Ross's stream from time to time, as the two have formed a friendship that has hilariously played out on the live streaming site. The dynamic between them involves constant roasting, but underneath that is mutual respect. Following the live stream, Adin hilariously tagged along with Uzi to his neighborhood in North Philly for Thanksgiving. That is a personal invitation. That is family territory. You do not bring someone to your neighborhood for Thanksgiving if you do not consider them part of your circle. And there was a moment that fans keep bringing up when comparing how Uzi treated Adin's stream versus how Playboi Carti treated it. One fan on Twitter summed it up. This was Lil Uzi with Adin Ross after he received $0 to be on stream. Playboi Carti could never. Uzi did not charge. He showed up because he wanted to be there. That distinction matters. Given that kind of history, Uzi is the type of person who would reach out to Adin. After hearing about Madeline, he is the type who gives real talk, not just a quick sorry for your lost text. When Madeline's death circulates through the circles these rappers move in, Uzi is one of the names that carries weight in Adin's personal life. Not because of business, because of a 2-hour stream, a hair dye session, a Thanksgiving in Philly, and a freestyle that accidentally became a song. The next two rappers on this list have very different relationships with Adin, but both are names that come up when you talk about his connections to hip-hop, starting with Playboi Carti. The relationship between Adin and Carti is complicated, to say the least. On February 5th, popular American streamer Adin Ross hosted a short joint broadcast with rapper Playboi Carti. This stream gathered over 487K peak viewers, setting a record in Adin Ross's streaming career, as well as becoming the most popular English-language broadcast on Kick. But the stream itself was a disaster. Playboi Carti did appear on the stream but left almost as soon as he received the money. Their joint stream lasted less than 10 minutes, which angered both Adin Ross viewers and the rapper's fans. The pair exchanged some awkward small talk before Adin handed Carti a huge duffel bag full of cash. Finally, within little more than 5 minutes, Carti said he was going to be leaving and headed off. Adin was not happy. Ross took this as disrespect and ultimately decided to keep his money. But later in 2025, Adin himself claimed he left Playboi Carti stranded for 10 hours. After taking his private jet, Adin Ross alleges he left Playboi Carti stranded for 10 hours after taking his private jet. That suggests the two kept communicating even after the stream incident. There is tension, but there is also a relationship. Whether Carti would reach out after Madeleine's passing is unknown. But their lives are intertwined in the world of streaming and hip-hop, and news travels fast in those circles. Twitch is how he connected with Lil Yachty. During one of Yachty's own streams, Ross jumped in the chat, and the two formed a relationship from there. That is an organic connection. No manager set it up. No label arranged it. Adin was just a viewer who typed something in Yachty's chat, and it turned into a friendship. By the end of 2021, Adin had befriended numerous rappers including Lil Yachty, Lil Tecca, 24K Golden, Lil TJ, Ian Dior, and Sheck Wes, and had them on his stream. But Yachty was one of the first. He was part of the foundation. And in an interesting connection, while reacting to a clip featuring Lil Yachty making speculations about Kai Cenat's wealth, Adin stated he and Kai have more money than 95% of rappers. That moment shows they are still in each other's orbit. Yachty is still creating moments that Adin reacts to, and vice versa. Yachty was on Adin's stream when Adin was still building his audience. That early support built a connection that is different from the bigger name rappers who came later. When Madeleine's death was confirmed, Yachty is one of the people in Adin's circle who has been there from nearly the beginning. That kind of history often leads to a check-in call, even if the two are not currently streaming together every week. The final group of rappers on this list represents different chapters of Adin Ross's career, but all of them have one thing in common. They are connected to him in ways that go beyond one stream or one viral moment, starting with T Grizzly. It all started with T Grizzly, Ross pointed out on No Jumper, explaining that the Detroit rapper was the first hip-hop artist he streamed with. T Grizzly is a Twitch streamer himself, so they connected naturally through the platform. That is significant. Before Drake, before Uzi, before Carti, before 21 Savage. Ross met T Grizzly while playing GTA 5, noting at the time that many rappers play GTA for fun in their spare time. That connection, built on something as simple as playing GTA, opened the door for everything that came after. T Grizzly has experienced tragedy himself. His mother and aunt were killed in a shooting in 2019, and he has spoken about the weight of loss. When someone like Adin, who he helped launch into the rap world, loses a family member, that shared understanding of grief can activate a response. T Grizzly may not have the public profile of a Drake or a 21 Savage. Next is Sheck Wes. The 20-year-old Twitch streamer turned YouTuber got his start in the gaming world, but he aligned himself with hip-hop artists, forming a particularly tight bond with Sheck Wes and the Cactus Jack crew. "I'm closest with Sheck Wes," Adin told Adam22 on No Jumper. He also said he was very associated with Cactus Jack and worked with a lot of the guys there. Sheck Wes is someone who was in Adin's life during a formative period. They remember when your sister was just a name mentioned on stream in passing, not a headline on TMZ. Then there is Kodak Black. Adin Ross and N3On chatted with Kodak Black during their live stream. Kodak has appeared on Adin's stream and the two have shown a rapport. Kodak has been vocal about supporting people in his circle, and his own experiences with the legal system and personal loss have given him a perspective that few others in rap share. If there is one rapper who does not filter his emotions, it is Kodak. He says what he feels. If he is moved by Madeleine's death, he is the type to say something publicly or reach out directly. That is his nature. Finally, Sexy Red. Two of Adin's most notable guests on Kick have been Sexy Red and 21 Savage. Drake managed to troll Ross while he had Sexy Red on the stream. Ross pranked Drake by FaceTiming him during the stream, claiming that Sexy Red said that she was his soulmate. That is a moment that involves three people on this list all at once. Drake, Sexy Red, and Adin in a single stream exchange. That tells you how interconnected this circle is. And when news like Madeleine's death breaks, it does not travel in a straight line. It moves through this web of connections. Drake tells someone, 21 Savage hears about it. Sexy Y Red sees it on the timeline. And Adin, who has been at the center of all of these moments, receives the messages. TMZ reports that the streamer's sister, Madeleine, has passed away at the age of 36. The Broward County Medical Examiner confirmed the news, revealing that Madeleine passed on January 15th in Broward County, Florida. At the time of writing, the circumstances leading up to her death have not been made public. She led a fairly private life, opting to stay out of the spotlight despite her brother's fame. Neither Adin nor Naomi have posted anything on social media about their sister's death since it happened in January. That silence tells you it is being handled privately. And when something is handled privately, the people who show up are the ones who have your number, not the ones who tag you on Twitter. Drake, 21 Savage, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, T Grizzly, Sheck West, Kodak Black, Sexy Red, Playboy Carti. Every one of these rappers has sat in Adin's stream, looked at his chat, shared moments with his audience, and in many cases, shared moments with him off camera as well. Madeline was one of Ross's 3 sisters. A private person, Madeline was one of 3 sisters Adin, 25, grew up with. She was not a public figure. She was not an influencer. She was a sister. And when a family member like that passes, the reactions that matter are not the ones that get posted online. They are the phone calls, the text messages, the voice notes, the private conversations that never get screenshotted. News of Madeline's passing comes just a few weeks after someone else close to Ross, Convy, was shot at during a live stream. Reportedly, Convy and a few friends were driving around in New York City when the shooting took place. Convy walked away unscathed, though one of his friends had to be hospitalized. Ross later addressed the ordeal during a stream on Kick, confirming that it was real. That is 2 incidents in the space of weeks that have rocked Adin's world. The people around him, the rappers included, are likely aware of the weight of all of this stacking up. According to reports, Adin went live recently to explain his absence from streaming, revealing he had lost a close family member. The streamer expressed emotional vulnerability during the broadcast, showing fans the human side behind the gaming persona. He began interviewing popular rappers and celebrities. Then, he hit a jackpot when the young streamer landed a chance of interviewing President Donald Trump before the presidential election in August 2024. He has built a life that puts him in the orbit of the most famous people on the planet. But at the end of the day, he is a 25-year-old who just lost his older sister. And the rappers who have been in his life, from the first GTA session with T Grizzly to the $1 million gambling streams with Drake, are the people who now have a chance to show that the relationships built on stream are real off stream too. Madeline Ross was 36. Rest in peace.